All right, we're going to take a look at a visual demonstration on how polar curves are actually drawn. In the top right-hand corner here, you can see that we have a kind of scale bar for t here. Now, this is going to be our angle, so think about that as theta. On the left-hand side, we see what curve we're going to draw. We're going to start drawing r is equal to 5 cosine 3t. So we should know that that's a rose curve, and since the number inside there is odd, we should end up with 3 petals. I'm going to slow this down a little bit so we can see how it's drawn. So as of right now, we have our angle of theta in there. Notice we have this blue arrow pointing to the first point on our graph. Now as I start this, as the angle increases, you start to see how it's being drawn out. So now we've gone up to what looks like about 30 degrees, and we've drawn a little bit of this graph. Now, as this thing increases, as the angle increases, let's go to right there and stop. Now, our angle has increased. This is still our angle here up to the black arrow, but now we have a negative r value. So ever since we went into the pole, our angle is still going from 0 to pi over 2 in this region, but we're drawing this bottom rose petal down here. That's anytime you see the red arrow, that means it has a negative r value. So if we continue going with this, notice we now made it to about pi over 2 right there. Now our angle is increasing, so we're in the second quadrant with our angle, and we're over to about pi right there. Now, so notice at pi, we're almost at pi and we have a negative angle, but that's actually going to finish up this picture. It is going to go all the way to 2 pi. So you can kind of see, let's do it rather quickly, how it is kind of drawn out. So when you see the blue, that is a positive angle and a positive radius. When it's red, you still have the positive angle, but it's drawing a negative radius. All right, let's stop this and try another, say, rose curve. Let's do, say we have 4t. We have 4t, that means that we know we're going to have 8 petals to this. So I'm just going to let this run as it goes out. Notice here our angle is increasing. We just made it to pi over 2. Angle still increasing. There's pi. Now we've made 3 pi over 2, and our angle now is all the way back around to 2 pi, and we start all over again. All right, let's take a look at maybe one of our limicons and see how those are drawn out. Let's do like 2 minus 3 cosine t. Okay, so let's see what shape we get out of this. Now notice, I just broke it. Let me try again. 2 minus 3, what did I say? Cosine t. Okay, now notice when we start out here, it's a little hard to see down here at the bottom, but we have at 0, we have a negative radius, so it's already starting out with a red arrow there. So we're going from 0 to, we're moving around to pi over 2 right there. Sweeping around, now we're at an angle of pi, angle of 3 pi over 2, and as we head towards 2 pi, now we have a little bit of a negative, and that finished up our picture. So this gives us our limicon with the inner loop. So let's actually let this finish drawing out one more time and stop. Okay, so you kind of get the idea now, hopefully, how polar graphs are drawn. Remember, your angle is always increasing from 0, generally all the way around to 2 pi, and your radius can be either positive or negative as you move through.